region, so we have to shade region in a number plane. So what does it mean? The best way to understand this is to do a table of values. So we know how to graph an equation. How do I graph an inequality on a number plane? So that's what we're going to find out. To do so, we're going to do a table of values first. So we'll do the first part. Substitute -1 into this equation. You will get -2. Agree? Because -1 minus 1 is -2. Substitute 0, you get -1. Substitute 1, you get 0. Substitute 2, you get 1. Okay? Once you get this table of values, we're going to draw the graph of y equal to x minus 1. So we plot these points. So the first point you plot is -1, -2, so which is this point here. Next one is 0, -1, and 1, 0, 2, 1, and then you get all the points. Use a line tool, use a ruler to draw the line. Okay, let's try to do this. Alright, so you draw this line like this, and then we're going to turn it into properties. Actually, not like this. Put arrows on both ends. Okay, good. That's your line. I will draw the line. Okay, once you drew the line, we're going to do the inequality, which will be gives you a region. So let's draw this. So we substitute -1 into x. Okay, so you get, instead of, so the top bit you get y equal to -2. The bottom bit you get y bigger than or equal to -2. We have to interpret the meaning of this. Before, the meaning is just one single point. This meaning is not a single point, it's a set of points. Now, what numbers, what's the y value that's greater than or equal to -2? What's the y value? -2, or what's the -1 or 0, isn't it? So instead of just plotting a single point, you have to plot all these points on the graph. So when x is -1, you plot all these points and many more. Let's plot some of these. So when x is -1, y is -2. At the same x value, y is -1 as well, or 0, or everything above this. So everything here, right? So when it's an inequality, you shading all the points. So all these points make this inequality true. So y is bigger than -2. Okay? What if x is -1? You get the same value. When x is 0, you get y greater than or equal to -1. And what numbers are greater than or equal to -1? -1 itself, 0, 1, etc. So if you plot these points, you get this. So -1, 0, 1, etc. Everything here. And hopefully you'll soon find a pattern. The next one, you get y bigger than or equal to 0. So 0, 1, 2. Is plot all the points, 0, 1, 2, everything, right? And how about the last one? Y bigger than or equal to 1 means you could be 1, 2, 3, etc. So put 1, 2, 3, etc. So we're not going to plot all the points. We'll see if there's a pattern there. You will notice that all these points lies directly above this line. So if I draw this line here, it's lying above this line, isn't it? All the points. So what we do is, let's turn that into, put arrows on both ends. Thinner arrow on both ends. Okay, so you find that it is going to be above this line. Okay, this line is the same graph I drew before. This line is y equal to x minus 1, right? But the region I'm shading, y greater than or equal to x minus 1, refers to everything here. Like that. So when you have an inequality, it becomes a region. This is a region. Okay? get region instead of a line. So it's a region above this line. Okay, so we get region. All right, so we can do this. So you shade everything above this line. Okay, all right, any question? So it's pretty straightforward. So from this table of values, we discover a rule about shading regions. So when y is greater than, looks like we have to shade above, isn't it? So we can conclude what we found in the box, in the key ideas in the on the page on your right. So let's write this down. To graph this region, y bigger than x minus 1, we'll shade the region above. Okay, when it's bigger than, it's above. When it's less than, we shade below. It's a pretty simple rule. Bigger than above, less than below. Now there's a rule about this. If it's greater than or less than, we have to use a special type of line. In this case, we have to draw a dotted line. If it's greater than or less than without the equal to, you use a dotted line because we don't include the line. Whereas when it's greater than or equal to, we use a solid line like we did before. Okay? Alright, so let's do a question to illustrate the meaning of this. So we're going to do a case where the region involves a dotted line. So we're going to draw this graph first. Okay, so we're going to... Now to draw this graph, you should make y the subject. So if you make y the subject, you get negative 2x, actually without the equal, y bigger than negative 2x plus 4. So you make y the subject first, so I know whether I shade above or shade below. Now we have to draw this equation. Now we have to sketch y equal to negative 2x plus 4, which you have many ways to do. Yes? Now, because I just moved the 2x to the other side, I didn't divide or times by negative. If I just subtract both sides by a term, that does not change the inequality sign. So only when it's times by negative. Oh, I changed it. Oops. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's still less than. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's continue. All right. Good. What do? We have to sketch it. There's many ways to sketch it. You can either find the x and y intercept or use the gradient intercept form. Maybe what we do is we're going to use the gradient intercept form because that could be quick. So the y-intercept is 4, so start from 4. Now the gradient is negative 2 means that you go right 1, down 2. So you go 1 across, 2 down. 1 across, 2 down again. Get a couple of points. And then use a ruler to join the dots. Now be careful, you must use a dotted line. Dotted. Because the region does not include the line. Dotted line. So I have a tool that makes a dotted, but you have to draw a dotted line. So let me get the line tool. So I draw a line like this. Okay, so it's a solid line. So I'm going to change that to dotted. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay, I have to click on it first. Now it will be dotted like this. Which way looks better? This way. Maybe. Anyway, maybe this one. Okay, dotted line like this, and then put arrows on both ends. 1, 2, and what else are they? Have to change the color so it looks good. Okay, so you have to do a dotted line like this. Maybe the dots are too thick, like this. Okay. All right. So you draw a dotted line like this. After you draw the dotted line, you have to shade the region. Now, which part do you shade? You less than, so you shade below. Let me get a highlighter. Highlighter is good for shading. So you shade like this. Right, it's fully shaded. That's good. All right, so shade it with a dotted line. Maybe I should rub a little bit off. Doesn't allow me to rub off. All right, can't trim it. Okay, anyway, so you shade below. Any question? All right, after we do this, before we do the next example, If you don't like the above or bigger than method, there's another method I will show you. Method 2, test a point. How does test a point work? So what you do is, with this inequality like y is plus 2x minus less than 4, you can test a point. So let's say you're going to test the origin, right? The origin, test origin. And if you go 0 plus 0, that's a less than 4, right? That's a 4. Does that make that true? It's true, right? If 0 lies on the region, everything else below the line lies on the region. So you can test the point. Yeah, and same for the other one. Oh, the other one has the origin. Okay, so you can test the point to check whether the region is below or above by testing a point in the region. Okay, so you can test a point. Okay, good. But that can be, I think, slow. It's easier to go shade below or shade above, depending on the sign of the inequality. All right, we'll have to do one more question, then we're done. Then you can do the homework. All right, let's move on to the next page. Hopefully you all done this. All right, next. Okay, we've got more questions. Let's do this question. Okay, let's try this. Okay, this is an easy line, x equal to negative, x greater than -1. So what you do is you draw the vertical line, -1 using a dotted line. So find -1, it is a vertical line. All right, dotted line like this. Now, which part do you shade? It says bigger than, you go like this. It doesn't have to be fully shaded, you can just go like this. So, yeah, okay, like that. Of course, if you have a highlighter, then everything gets shaded. So you can use a highlighter. Let's use green. Oh, like this. Okay. So if you like coloring in, this is a good exercise to do. Okay. All right. It's fully shaded. Okay. Good. Done. All right. After we do this, we'll go back to normal stuff. Okay. We just shaded this region. What else are there? We've got example 3. Okay. All right, example 3 is a little bit harder, so we have to go through all the steps. So we have to shade 2 regions and combine them together. So sketch both inequalities on the same set of axes, show the region of intersection, and find the point of intersection of the 2 lines. So your first step is to find a point of intersection of the 2 lines first. So to do that, we use the method from the previous exercise, which is simultaneous equation. And the other one is, now instead of less than, just solve using equal sign. Okay, we'll have to find a point of intersection equal to 1. Call that equation 1, equation 2. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the method of elimination, because that will allow us to eliminate y because they are the same. So if we add the 2 equations, the y terms will be cancelled. So x plus 2x plus y plus -y equal to 5 plus 1. And if you do this, you're going to get 3x, and that y plus -y gets cancelled, which gives you equal to 6. Therefore, x is 2. Once you get x equal to 2, sub it back into 1 or 2. I'm going to substitute into 1 because it's easier to do, looks like. So from 1, 2 plus y is 5, therefore y must be 3. So we got the point of intersection, POI, point of intersection, which you can plot on the number plane on your right. 2, 3, which is there. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so 2, 3, we'll plot the 2, 3 over here. That's the point, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the point of intersection. We'll now have to draw these 2 graphs on the number plane on the right. Okay, so we're going to sketch this. So I left room for you to write down the working. So let's do this. So we do the first one. Now remember, one is let's go back to the equation. X plus y less than or equal to 5. Let's write it here. Less than or equal to 5. The other one is 2x minus y less than 1. Okay, good. So because it's less than or equal to, you use a solid line, whereas the other one, that's a less than, you use a dotted line, like that. Okay, now we're going to draw this. Now for the first one, maybe the easiest way is to use find the x and y intercept, which is easy to find. So find the x-intercept. That's when you set y equal to 0. X plus 0 equal to 5, which means that x equal to 5. And same thing, we're going to do y-intercept, which is x equal to 0. 0 plus y equal to 5, therefore y equal to 5. So in that case, you get the 2 points, 0, 5, and you can draw the line. Okay, so let's draw the line. So I'm going to use a green pen to draw the line. This one, draw the line using a green pen. Okay, good, let's do that. That will be, should be not a dotted line, should be a solid line. Let's change this to the solid line like this and put arrows on both ends. Okay, so we drew this line, x plus y equal to 5. Okay. All right, let's do the other one. The other one, maybe we'll use a different color pen, or maybe use a blue pen. Okay, let's use a blue pen. Okay, let's do the other bit. 2x minus y. So you make y the subject. So 2x equal to y plus 1, y equal to 2x minus 1. For this one, maybe easy if you just use the gradient. Is 2 over 1. Y-intercept is negative 1. So therefore, your starting point is at negative 1. And the gradient becoming 2, 1 means you go 2 rise over 1 across. So you do 1 across, 2 up, so you get this point. So you go 1 across, 2 up, 1 across, 2 up, which is the same point in section. 1 across, 2 up, and you get a line, which I can draw using a dotted line this time. So I have to choose dotted, choose the color blue, and then we draw it like this. So this one you have to use a dotted line or broken line. Broken line, and then do arrows on both ends. Done. Okay, broken line. Okay, like this. All right, now once we do that, maybe a good idea to label which ones is which. So we should label the equation. So this line has the equation 2x minus y equal to 1. The other one has the equation x plus y equal to 5. So we'll know which one's which. Okay, now we have to shade the correct region after you draw this. So a question like this can take a while. You have to draw the line, find a point of intersection, and actually shade the region. So a lot of work involved. Okay, so once we draw both of the line, let's find the region. Let's write down the two inequality first. Okay, so let's write them down. So the first one is x plus y less than 5. The second one is 2x minus y less than 1. Okay, so what do? We're going to make y the subject. So y is less than negative x plus 5. And the other bit, you make y the subject. Be careful, negative y less than negative 2x plus 1. I'll move the negative x to the other side. But be careful, you have to divide both sides by negative 1, which will result the inequality being changed. So it will be y bigger than 2x minus 1. So that tells you that the first one you shade below, but this one you shade above, even though this is less than at the beginning. You have to make y the subject to determine whether you shade above or below, because sometimes there's a negative that will change the sign. Okay, so we're going to shade below the blue line, but above the green, blue, below the green line, above the blue line. No, below the green line. Yeah, below the green line, but above the blue line. Let's change the color. Above. That's no, they say below. Below the green line, right? That's the green line. Below, say C is below, but above the blue line. Okay. Above. Above. Okay. Above the blue, below the green. So which place do we shade? Yeah, this bit, right? So we're going to use a highlighter to do that. So we'll use a purple. Yep, purple. Hang on, let me just make this shaded. Right, looks good. I've shaded. Right, looks very good. Okay, so that, remember, it's below the green, above the blue. Okay, any question? So start drawing lines, start shading today. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's the last exercise. Next lesson we'll do revision. Thank you.